they found him hung. They found him hung. They couldn't work out because his hands were tied behind his back. We've been in prison. We've done the wrong, mate.
Burgle your house because they know you're not.
Exactly.
First went to jail. You weren't allowed to talk.
Weren't talk.
You weren't allowed to talk.
Talking on the wing.
No, what? You weren't allowed to talk. Even on exercise, you're not allowed to walk around the yard talking.
One way.
Single file, bruv. Single file.
I remember.
No talking.
No slop out, bruv.
I remember.
Slop out. You had to shit and piss in a bucket.
Oh, let me tell you what. You're a bit younger than me. A bit younger, yeah. Not a lot younger. A bit. Yeah. Anyway, I remember when I first went in prison, we used to have a metal, right, aluminium piss pot. Aluminium, right, that big. Right, that big for you to shit and piss in, yeah. And you had on your bed was a horsehair mattress and a horsehair pillow. You had one table, one chair, and that was it. Now you got everything. Everything. Fucking possible.
Back in the day, the food was that shit that you was allowed food brought in on visits.
On a Sunday.
You was allowed to eat every day. You was allowed to eat every day.
Well, you must have it easy. Must have the easy times. I remember Sundays.
No, what I'm saying, you're going way back. I'm talking about in the 80s. In the 80s, yeah.
Oh, you get a straw.
You could have a meal brought in on every visit, and you was allowed 2 cans of beer or half a bottle of wine. Right, 200 fags. I'm telling you, it was sweet. Like you had everything, mate. You had everything. Do you know what I mean? And everyone got because there weren't drugs. Scrubs and Brixton. Because everyone, it was drugs weren't really as popular back then as they are now. Right, so everyone was allowed to do what they're doing in prison because drugs weren't popular. Drugs was frowned upon even by the villains. No one smoked drugs. No one took drugs.
I tell you what,
And then what happened was. Through the late 70s, early 80s, right, the drugs started coming in. So mid 80s, early 90s, they stopped all the food coming into prison because everyone was putting all the drugs in the food.
That's it.
You could have 2 visits a day as well back in the day.
Yeah, that's it.
You could have a visit in the morning and a visit in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And you could bring your food in. And do you know what I mean? This is when I first started doing.
You're right, food every day. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, food visits.
You come and visit, you get your food, and you get your drink. You can take the food back to your cell. Do you know what I mean? You can take your beer and your wine back to your cell. It was sick. No, when you first done Bird, the conditions was horrific.
Yes.
Right? But you was allowed your home comforts.
Yes.
You got your own clothes. You got your own little bits and pieces. Like you got your own little.
Right, mate.
Do you know what I mean? You was allowed your little bits. You had your own money. Do you know what I mean? And then they took the money off you and then they put it into a canteen system. Because you used to have your money in your pocket, bruv.
That's it.
They used to give you your money. You had your money.
Yeah.
You go to the canteen, you pay for stuff. That's what I remember. Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And then basically because of the bullying, the taxing, the drugs. Do you know what I mean? Everyone was getting robbed, beaten. And then they've designed prison the way it is now because of grooming in prison. Do you understand? So you was allowed everything in prison. It was sweet. But then all the people that never had nothing was robbing this one, beating this one, taking this off one and 10. But then they thought, oh, this is getting out of hand. I'll tell you what we've got to do. Stop the food. Stop the drink. Stop the fags. Do you know what I mean? Like you used to be able to have 200 fags a week. Yeah, you was allowed handed in. Do you know what I mean? 200 fags a week, mate. Or a couple of how many ounces? 4 ounces or 5 ounces of tobacco. That's right. Or 200 snap. You was allowed handed in with 2 cans of beer every day. Or half a bottle of wine. Yeah. Every day. Do you know what I mean? But I was too young for the alcohol, so I couldn't have the alcohol.
Well, you started.
Because you got the plonkies, right? Yeah. The alcoholics are in the jail. Yeah. Then you get the alcohol given to them, and you half it with them. Do you know what I mean? So you're drinking, and this is when you get into that, mate. I was so young, but starred up that I got.
You starred up and all.
Yeah, I was always starred up.
Yeah.
I was always starred up, mate. First
starred up.
14, mate. Got starred up. Do you know what I mean?
But on the topic of prison, talk about how easy it can go off in prison. You're talking about one time going down to the canteen and you end up getting 1 egg short.
No, I wasn't down the canteen, mate. That was
canteen, the servery.
Yeah, servery. Yeah. I was because I was in the kitchen in Albany. Yeah, I worked in the kitchen for quite some time, and sometimes when there'd be a bit of trouble on the wing or something might happen, you go up the servery, serve up. Yeah, if the geezer's a bit fucking funny. So this particular day we goes up the servery. I think it was on a Thursday. Sometimes you get egg, bacon, sausage you get a fry-up day. Yeah. So this day was a fry-up day, and there's a black guy there, a really nice guy, you know. I thought Tank, his name was. I don't know if you know him, do you?
I know Tank.
Big black
East
guy.
London or South London Tank?
I think he's East London Tank.
Yeah, I know Tank. Yeah,
you know him, yeah?
Anyway,
So anyway,
hard with Tank.
Yeah. So anyway, Tank. he'd come down for his bits of food, yeah. So I give him a couple of sausages, bits of bacon, 2 eggs, bits of things, and I left some eggs. So anyway, so I turned me back, and my fucking eggs are gone. He's took the whole fucking eggs, all the eggs.
All 5?
Yeah, it's a greedy cunt, yeah. So anyway, but I liked him, he was a nice geezer, yeah. So I said, "Tell him, put the eggs back, mate, and my eggs." He went, "Fuck off." I said, "What?" He said, "You heard, fuck off." I said, "Don't be a cunt, put them back. It's fucking come, mate. I've looked after you." He went, "No, mate, no way, fuck off." I said, "Listen, get in the fucking toilets, let's sort this out, yeah?" So I walked away with my tray, you know the trays, isn't it?
Metal tray.
Yeah, metal tray. We all had fucking plates, but because we were on the hot plate, just put it on the trays, go with myself. So I got the tray, as I put the tray down, he went to kick me in the face. So I moved back, right? I said, "Get in the fucking toilet." So anyway, I'm fighting him in the toilet, but I'm fighting him, I'm boxing him, yeah? I'm banging left jabs, right? Anyway, so, and I'm becoming a better man of him, yeah? Anyway, I threw a right punch, he ducked down, and in Albany's, they got aluminium big blocks round the staircase. I hit the block, yeah, and I fucking think I broke my hand, yeah? You know what I mean? Anyway, so it's all stopped, we go to our cells, and early in the morning, right, everybody in Albany, right, everybody, because of the nick, what the sort of nick it was, used to have wedges, yeah, the wedges.
So people couldn't come in the cell. A wedge was, let me explain what a wedge is. Now, a wedge was you either drilled a hole in the floor.
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
a
so,
nail.
So you could put the nail in the floor, and then the door couldn't open, or you used a wedge, like a door stop, and slid it under the door so no one could push your door and come into your cell. That's what a wedge is.
So these are electric cells, yeah? So once the electric goes click, anybody can come through your fucking door. With a screw, it's got to unlock your door, yeah? But it says electric doors click. Anyway, it clicked, all of a sudden my fucking door tried to slam open, and it opened about, 2 inches, I suppose? But it could, just enough that he got his hand in and fucking come over with a big blade, yeah? What he got out of the metal shop, yeah? And he fucking tried to stab me, it missed me, yeah? Fucking lucky, you know what I mean? So I jumped out of fucking bed, pulled my fucking wedge out, the nail out, because he's pushed my wedge, he's so hard, I couldn't get my nail, I pulled the nail out. He's run, I'm chasing him, he's fucked off upstairs, yeah? So I thought, fucking, this cunt's got to go. Otherwise, he's going to kill me, you know what I mean? He's out to fucking kill me. He could have killed me easy, yeah? Easy. And nothing would have been said, mate. It's like that, innit? You know what I mean?
It's like that back then.
So, I'm now working in the morning to collect all the people's clothes, yeah? So I'm going up with big bins, going up to each landing, putting the clothes in the bin, taking them downstairs, throwing them on the floor, sorting them all out, yeah? Shirts over there, as well as a bin in the kitchen. I've got another job, yeah? So I'm doing this, I'm on the fucking floors. As I'm coming down the stairs, I get jumped. So I roll down the stairs onto the landing, because it's all like different landings, yeah? I'm come down. It's like you ever been?
Not in Albany, I've never been.
It's not like landings. It's like big staircases, going up to little spurs.
Yeah.
8 spur fight, you know what I mean? So anyway, I goes on the floor. As I goes on the floor, they jump me, right? They pull me down and they open me up and they whip my tummy with a standing knife, you know what I mean? Four big cuts with a standing knife, yeah?
You right up?
Yeah, open me up, mate. So now I'm having a fight. I'm fighting for my fucking life, really, in the way, because the way it was going, they could have fucking killed me, mate, you know? And that's what it's like in them places, Albany's, mate. There's a lot of people get killed in them places, yeah? So I got away, yeah? And it was only for the fucking strength of me. I was a big, strong guy that I got away. So I got to my cell, and I've got to go to work. I'm in the kitchen as well. So I put a towel around me, this big towel, and I'm trying to, and I've got me fucking jacket, and I've got me thing on me, so they can't see it, but the blood's going through. Anyway, I'm okay, yeah? I'm okay. So, now, what happened, that's when me and Tank then have a really, really, like, bad turnout, you know what I mean? Really bad turnout, yeah? But I bashed Tank up, yeah? Bashed him up bad. But I know that I'm going to get killed. I know that, but there's nothing I can do. I'm in prison, I've got to live it, you know what I mean? I've got to live it. It can happen any day, yeah? It can happen every day, but it don't happen. But when what happens, he's in the television room, right? No, sorry, I'm in the television room, he's coming back in. But by the door, there's this big square wooden, like a wooden thing with a handle on it, yeah? But I think it's a door stopper, but say it's I don't know, mate, you know, door stopper. I pick it up, right, he's walking by, and I hit him right across the fucking head with it, yeah? I've got to do it, mate, because he's going to fucking kill me, this guy, you know what I mean? And I'll keep hitting the screws fucking... I'll go upstairs myself, right? But they come into my cell, I told you what happens to me. They come into Team Andy with me, yeah? There's a big one with a beard. He's the one that causes all the problems. I bash him up, I do his spleen, I smash his spleen. They come in and they shoot me. I told you about this before, yeah? And they shoot me. And they shoot me bad, yeah? And they stun me up. And they take me to Parkhurst, yeah? They wrap me up in Parkhurst on a straight jacket. They're hosing me down with water. You know, and from there I'm going down all the prisons in England, really, in the blocks, yeah, for lie downs. Yeah, 1074, mate.
Yeah, 1074.
6 months.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, and then he killed me, mate. When I finished, and I got to Chelmsford, my hands were black with bruises. Yeah, you know what I mean? I was not what? I was what, 20 odd stone, 19, 20 stone. I went up and when I went to Chelmsford prison, I was about 8, 9 stone. Where they tried to kill me, mate, food, not eating.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat shit.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat shit and piss. You know what I mean? That's how they make you live.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat.
That's prison for you back then, though, man. The prison was different then, because even the prison officers used to kill people back then.
Yeah.
With a good hiding. I mean, a few people died when I was in. Someone got killed in Scrubs.
Yeah, but hung. Was that the one who got hung? They found him hung. They found him hung. They couldn't work out because his hands were tied behind his back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, the reason I asked you to tell that story, Ray, was to try and tell the people out there who maybe are on the wrong path about how small a thing, like you say, you and Tank used to get on, but somehow you end up having an argument over a thing.
Neck.
You end up getting your belly sliced open.
Yeah.
He gets it over the head.
Yeah. I've seen someone get oiled.
Yeah.
Oiled.
Yeah,
fat
oiled.
So
Yeah.
that's the next question. For what? What was it?
Over Rizzler. I've seen people get stabbed up over a 1/4 ounce of burn. Do you understand? Like, I've seen people hospitalised over a £10 joey of heroin. Do you know what I mean? I see a guy get stabbed straight through the neck over a £10 joey of heroin in Swellside. So, in prison, what you've got to also consider...
You don't know who you're talking to, that's what you don't know.
Who the next person is.
You ain't got a clue.
The skinniest, weakest looking
Yes,
member
could be a right
will be
dangerous
the most dangerous man on the landing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's very temperamental in prison.
Schizos,
a lot of schizos.
A
A lot of people with mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're criminals in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, they've all been through trauma, and then they're all put into a building on a landing with other people with trauma, mental health issues that they're not even aware of. Do you know what I mean? And they're just all battling with each other because everybody's angry, everybody's frustrated, everybody wants to go home. So any little thing, even speaking too loud on the landing, sometimes can cause a problem. I mean, if someone's sleeping,
you know that,
sleeping,
mate. Yeah,
you make too much land on noise, they come out of the lunatic, like anything.
Stab you up.
Anything can happen in prison. I mean, especially when you go into the B cat locals, and then the B cats, and then the dispersals. Once you get into them prisons there, then anything, playing the music too loud.
Do you know what? You took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say sometimes you can go into a cell, yeah. You can go don't forget you're a normal guy, but you don't know your schizo side of you. You know what I mean? Really, you can go in a fucking cell. As you go in the cell, this guy's, all right, mate, how you going? And all of a sudden, he's up all fucking night playing music. He's playing music all night, and you don't want to fucking be playing music all night. You want to go to sleep. All night he's playing fucking music, mate. He's got the light on all fucking night. And you're going, what the fuck? I'm just coming in here, mate. This geezer's playing music all night. Got the fucking light on. I want to go to sleep. I don't want to be doing bird fucking 24/7. Yeah. I just want to do my bird as less as possible. Yeah. My sleep, I just want to sleep it away. But this guy wants you to do it 24 fucking 7. So what would you do? What would you do?
Don't feel big, chuck him out the cell.
Well, you've got to try and do something, mate. But there again, don't remember that you don't know what you're like. He doesn't know what you're like. You don't know what he's fucking like. So you could die, or he could die. That's how simple it is. It's putting two people together that don't know each other, and one changes to the other one. That's how simple it is. Or one's next door to you, music all fucking night long, shouting and screaming. And you're going to sort it out in the morning. They stab you up. For
the most traumatising thing that you can ever sort of go through in prison is when you got kids, right? So when I grew up, I believed that my kids was better off having money than me.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? So I didn't care about being in prison. I just cared about my kids having money to live to have what I never had when I was growing up, because I never had nothing as a kid growing up. So I always felt that my kids needed everything I never had. And I never believed they needed me more than the materialistic acquisitions that they wanted. But by that mindset, it sort of detached me from my eldest children, because they wanted their dad, and their dad never viewed them as important enough not to go to prison. So that's a bit of trauma.
Yeah, but you tried to do the best you could for them.
But I did, with my ignorance.
Yeah.
But the impact of that is I don't have the tightest relationship with my kids. So because I've been through that, and you're a little bit older than myself, that's what I was going to ask. How many kids have you got?
6.
And how close are you with your kids?
Not at all.
See? So that's trauma, that's lifetime.
No conversation, mate, nothing.
Lifetime of trauma. Now imagine their kids, what they say to their kids about their granddad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's continuation of the ripple.
Of loss.
Yeah. Of that detachment, unemotion, like no sort of parental support. You're not there. So you don't have that sort of guidance relationship that you're supposed to have with your children. It's a detached, distant relationship that you can never get back. You can never make better. I weren't there for my son's birth. Do you know what I mean? And how could you look him in the face when he's a man and say, "Yeah, I love you that much"? Oh, you're prepared to go to prison, though, Dad. But because they don't understand the mindset I had as a kid, they still hold it against me. So I want to ask you, did you still feel that effect with your eldest kids and stuff?
Yeah, mate. Because when I went to prison on this IPP, I didn't know I was going to get an IPP. I had a beautiful wife, 2 kids. Yeah, well, 1 kid at the time, but there was 1 kid. So 1 kid she was pregnant, waiting for 1 kid child. Yeah. One child was like a boy. So there was 2 kids coming up, 2 kids really. She come to visit me regular, and Wandsworth all the time, never failed. And when it comes to me going to court, I said, look, I don't know, but they've told me I could get an IPP. You're well looked after. You'll be well looked after all your life, the money you've got, yeah? You've got houses, you're sweet, yeah? But I'm going to get a confiscation order as well, yeah? So they're going to try and nick all my money off me, which they will, but they can't take your money, yeah? So the best thing you can do is to move on. I ain't moving on. I love you. You've got the kids. I said, look, an IPP, you don't know what an IPP is. I've done 2.5 years remand, but remember this, yeah? Now, they're telling me that I could go and get a 10 to a 15 IPP. But they're now telling me, no, you're only going to get a 2.5 years IPP, right? So now I've got to tell, look, I've done 2.5 years. They're telling me now that I might only get a 2.5 year IPP. But the thing is, me getting a 2.5 year IPP might mean I come out in fucking 20 years. And she doesn't understand this, yeah?
So how long out of the IPP did you actually do?
10 years.
Out of a 2-year IPP?
2.5 year IPP. I'd done 2.5 year remand. When I went to court, I'd done 2.5 year remand. I thought, when they told me I got 2.5 year IPP, I'm going to release. I'm going to do maybe a couple of weeks, and I'm gone.
Yeah. 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years. 10 years.
I'm fucking...
So I've done 12.5 years. Well, nearly 12.5 years, really.
And what was the offence?
What's it called? A fucking mobile phone warehouse in Park Royal.
Oh, you robbed the warehouse?
Robbed the warehouse, mobile phone warehouse, yeah. I tried them all.
What year was that?
Fucking hell. Fuck me, 04, 03, 04.
I remember.
Because 05, the IPP came out in 05, because I was remand, that's when it came out. I was on remand, the fucking IPP come out. I goes to court on remand.
Was that a Nokia's? The Nokia's?
Yeah, I did what call it? The razor phones, is it called the razor phones?
Yeah.
The razors, yeah, and I had all them. And what caused the problem was because I was dressed as old Bill. I was SO19, yeah, and the guys with me were custom and excise, all dressed the same, yeah. I was SO19, so I had the face mask, the gloves, pads, the knee pads. The only thing I didn't have was the fucking gun, you know. So when we cuffed them all up, the fucking security, the one the fucking thing, the manager of the floor, he escaped. I hit his on the chin, split the fucking, his jawbone come out for the side of his mouth, the side of his face, because you got mustard with his fucking. Anyway, I think I told you about that before, innit?
You told us about the gun in there.
Yeah. But I was saying about the IPP. I mean, when I told her that I'm going to get an IPP, yeah, I said, look, I'm going to get an IPP. You've got to move on in your life. And she said, no, I ain't going now. I'm waiting for you. I said, well, you ain't waiting for me because I'm going to blank all your visits now. And I won't write you. You've got to move on because it's not fair. You know, I mean, I don't want you waiting for me because it's not fucking fair on you. It's not fair on me. I don't want the aggravation of people telling me you're sleeping about, which I know it's going to happen, but I don't want people telling me.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'd rather not be told it and get on my bird the easy way rather than get on my bird the hard way while I'm losing my hair, even more than what I've already lost it, yeah? You know what I mean? It's true, isn't it? Yeah. You know what I mean? So she went and she hated my guts for it, you know what I mean? So then I lose the kids.
Yeah.
You got to remember, I've done 10 years, I've done really 12 and a half years all told, really. But you come out and you fucking know your kids. How do you know them? You went away when one was fucking 18 months or whatever. They don't want to know you no more, mate. You know what I mean? It's like, there's no conversation. Who are you? You're just a fucking father. You're just dad. You're nothing else. You're just a father figure. That's all you are. And it's a shame that's what happens in life. People don't realise.
But they don't make you aware of that.
No.
When they're getting in the criminal world or getting to do criminal activities or grooming you to do bad things.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't tell the consequences that you're going to miss out on.
And that's why it's so powerful that you guys now today are telling this. That's why it's great. Because, like say, you hear about, you go to these places and the smallest slight you can get oiled for a Rizzler, you can get sliced open the belly for an egg.
You get stabbed up for jumping the queue on the phone.
Yep, and I saw it on the servery. I was working on the servery. Someone walked in front of them, only a couple of spaces to get with their mates, and they got stabbed straight in the side of the head 2 seconds later. Yeah, because
it happens. It happens. And it's
like
I'm standing in the queue, waiting for the phone, and someone gets in front of me.
Yeah, of course.
It's off.
It's off.
It's off.
Silly thing, isn't it?
It's off. It's off, mate. It's off. It's off. Same thing with the canteen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Someone jumps in front. Yeah.
Anything. Do you know what I mean? Anything. Over a packet of fags, over a Rizzler, over a packet of biscuits. Do you know what I mean? Over a game of pool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even a shower. Because something like you go in a shower room sometimes, right? And there might be 10 showers, but only 3 of them jet out the water. All the others dribble out. Right? So the first 3 showers, everybody wants to get in. Do you know what I mean? So you might be in the shower taking too long. Someone else wants a shower. Do you know what I mean? The first fight I had in Felton was over a shower. Do you know what I mean? Someone went in my I commandeered the shower because I thought I was that bad that no one can use the shower and I wanted to use it. And if they did, then we'd have to have a fight, and that's what happened. And then it kicked off with I beat the kid up, and then the kid ran out and told the screws coming in, and the screws weighed me in, and I ended up down the block. Do you know what I mean? So the smallest things in prison that mean nothing on the out mean
fabricate, don't they, mate?
It's just exaggerated.
Yeah, they go fucking massive.
You know what I mean? So much that people were prepared to kill for it.
Yep.
To lose their bird.
It's what you lose, isn't it? It's what you lose, isn't it?
Because you fight, you lose bird. Like back in the day, you used to lose
remission,
now,
yeah, big
what
time.
they do, they get an outside adjudicator coming in, so you get an extra charge and get extra bird.
Yeah.
Do you know I mean, before you used to lose 2-3 months. I think 90 days was the maximum.
60 days.
Was it 60 days maximum? Yeah.
Maximum.
Yeah. So any nicking, you can get up to 60 days remission loss.
You can lose 7 days like that.
And then that was back in the day. And then when people was doing certain things and 60 days weren't enough, then they brought an outside judge in to do
what do you call it? What do you call it? Get name now, eh?
Outside adjudicators.
Yeah.
And then you get extra bird. So not only are
VC, visit magistrates, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So not only are you in prison for a crime being taken away from your family, just to survive in there and not step on anyone's toes or upset anybody is like a minefield in itself.
And what you lose
every single day, and everything you lose is connection with your family and your kids. Do you know what I mean? And that's what people don't make you aware of, and they glamorise prison to the point where kids think it's okay to go there, and it ain't until they're in there that they realise that they're not the person they thought they was. Do you know what I mean? I was a bit fortunate because I was insane, so I just fought through everything, and I've done every sentence I had, I lost all my remission. Apart from the 5 years, I lost maybe a year and a half of each sentence. Do you know what I mean? So I've always done 4 or 5 years out of a 5-year sentence. Do you know what I mean? When you're supposed to do 2.5 years, and then you get your parole, and I've done no less than 4 years about every 5-year sentence. It's
That's
crazy.
the problem, like you say, like you guys just touched on. If you go to a place like that, which is literally a jungle, unless you're going to be a victim in there, then you've got to do these sort of things that you're going to end up getting more time for. While you're in there, your family are becoming victims of.
Do you know what I used to do? I don't know if Marvin was the same, but when I went in prison, yeah, I was told for the first one away from an old boy, yeah, been away most of his life, yeah, that when you get a letter, always cut the address off. Always cut your address. When you get photographs, always put your photographs away. Never show your photographs. Never show, because cutting your address away from the letter gives you that security, mate. So no one can come in your fucking cell and take your address and go back and get hold of your missus, because a lot of them do that, you know.
Or even burgle your house because they know you're not.
Exactly.
So my missus came to see me on a visit before, and people knew she was coming for a visit. And my pals, whoever it must be, that burgled my fucking house while my missus was on a visit to come and see me.
It happens 24/7, mate.
That's my friend. That weren't the people in the jail. That's
my
so-called friends.
Yeah, but he knew you was in jail.
Yeah, and of course they knew she was going on a visit, driving up to Oxford to see me. They had 4 or 5 hour windows, and they fucking broke.
So what would happen if he come to jail?
Well, it's no good, is it? So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what happened. It escalates, doesn't it, mate?
It's a lose. People, please take note from these two gentlemen about what's going to happen. And
it's what you lose, isn't it? I mean, I've done.
Like you say, sorry to interrupt, but you might say, "Fuck it, I don't care about what happens to me." Your family's going to suffer if you become a criminal. Your family's going to suffer. And if you love them, don't do it.
Well, I've done lots of bird, mate. Same as you, Marvin. You know, I've done loads of fucking bird, mate. So I mean, my mum, I love my mum to death. Yeah, loved her so much. And when I come out, I don't think I spent nearly 30 years in fucking prison. Well, not say 25, 26 years, but I spent all that time in. I've never seen my mum all them years. Yeah, so my mum lost me as a son. Yeah, so when I come out, my mum died of fucking heart attack. You know what I mean? So you can imagine how you feel. You ain't seen your mum for all them years. Yeah, and then she dies of an heart attack. Fucking hell, mate. Come on, it's like it kills you. You know what I mean?
You feel guilty for that as well.
Of course you do, Marvin. Yeah. Come on, mate.
Then imagine your kids grow up to be junkies or alcoholics.
You can't blame them.
And
you're not there.
Of the effects you're not
dead.
So the ripple effects of going to prison don't just affect you because you're in prison and you're losing your liberty. It affects your children, your sisters, your brothers, your cousins, your mum, your dad, everybody.
How can you chastise? How can he chastise his kids? How can I chastise my kids? We've been in prison. We've done the wrong, mate, and we're trying to get out of prison, trying to fucking tell him the rights and the wrongs. It's fucking hard, mate.
It's like what you said earlier, the ripple effect's fucking scary. If you commit a crime, you might be thinking, right, I can go out there. You might even be someone who's got a job, something like this. You might think, I can go and commit this little crime, nick a bit of money, take the family away on holiday, or I might get a little bit up for this and that. And things go wrong, you get caught, you go to jail, you might get hurt in jail, you might not come out. Fucks up your whole family. Your family might not even be there for you when you do come out of jail, like you say.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd say at least 70% people that go to prison come out of prison with drug habits.
Exactly. I say more than that, Marvin.
Well, I said 70 to
yeah, I say more than that, mate.
Right? But it's even I know some of the biggest. I won't name them.
I know them.
Biggest villains in this.
Can't do their bird without it. Yeah.
Can't do their bird without a bit of gear.
Yeah, but a bit of gear.
Without a bit. They can't do their bird.
Honestly, shouting out all fucking night, wasn't it?
They can't do their bird. And I'll be honest, I couldn't do my bird without puff.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So you've got people taking heroin, people taking
Brown was bad, wasn't it?
That's another good topic actually you topped on there, because you know, people don't know, you get drug tested in jail. Yeah, there's some people don't know cannabis stays in your system
14 days, yeah,
for a long time.
Yeah.
If you get caught with any cannabis in your system, you get 30 days added on straight away. Yeah. And the problem is there's these other drugs that are out your system. The Class A's are out your system within 48 hours.
No, they're not. They're out heroin's
14 days, is it?
No, heroin's 3 days, cocaine's 7 days. Okay. 7 to 10 days for cocaine.
Yeah.
Amphetamine's 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
Heroin's 3 days, and puff's 30 days.
Yeah.
So because of that, everybody started smoking heroin.
Fucking horrific.
And that was early 80s, early 90s. They started all the mandatory piss tests.
Become zombies, isn't it?
Yeah, but prior to that, everyone was puffing. After that, everyone got on the brand. Because when I started...
Speed, wasn't it? Speed at first, wasn't it? Speed was in there, wasn't it?
I don't know about the speed.
Sulphate was in there.
I know about the heroin. I know people used to take the speed, but I know about the heroin because that's how I sort of made my way through the prison sentences when I was a young man, by selling the heroin.
Yep.
So I remember I used to...
So how do you think you should change it? How do you think you should change it? How can you change it?
It's about changing the mindset of the individuals that are going to prison.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's about preventing them from going to prison and giving them people other opportunities not to commit crime. And it's a simple strategy, but it's a difficult implementation because the governments actually want the system the way it is.
Of course, they like it.
So
Work,
they don't
jobs.
they don't come up with rehabilitation programs to prevent people getting arrested because they want people getting arrested. So everything they set up is set up to fail because they're not set up correctly. There's no support. You know, there's no real advice. There's no real...
Why would you take police off the roads? Why would you take police stations from the roads? Why?
Because they do it because they want the more criminals. They want it's financial revenue streams, isn't it? So not only are you losing your freedom, they're actually tying you into a lifetime of deprivation and loss, and sort of depression through loss of family and stuff. And then when you're in prison and family members die, you can't go to their funerals.
Exactly.
You know, like there's so many negatives to go to prison. But you have to look in the mirror and think, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why? So this is why I'm trying to change the narrative, because where I was insane prior to my sort of shooting and my sort of epiphany towards life, I was happy doing Bird. And I was happy being a wild man in prison. And it was just an occupational hazard that I adopted with so much gusto that I wouldn't back down from anybody. So I didn't care how much Bird I was going to lose. And I wasn't, in my eyes, a lunatic, because the lunatics in prison that I used to think were lunatics
are lunatics.
And they're chopping themselves up.
Mate.
So you would... It's so fucked up to thinking, isn't it, of a criminal?
It's nuts, mate. It's absolutely
for what they do, for what they're doing.
And it's why we've got to change the narrative.
And so this is why, like you just said, how are we going to change it? And the most powerful thing is this: ex-criminals like you guys are actually out there, because the problem is the kids have got so many, as you touched on earlier, influencers telling you all the money you're going around, and it's for people like you guys to come on and dispel this fucking myths, because you're not going to get.
You might get 1,000 people going to jail, and you might get 100 people like that who come out wealth.
Yeah,
if you get that,
it's less than that.
I reckon it's literally less than 5%.
2%. Because when you're in prison, right, think of it like this, right? I was always on the sort of the pretentious part of prisonhood. Yeah. So when I was in prison, I had all the drugs, all the drink, all the bits and pieces. So we was sort of the high life in prison. We was at the highest level in prison, like with dealing, smuggling, getting all the bits and pieces in, right? So everything I'd done when I was in prison to survive in prison kept me away from my family for longer periods of time. For sure, mate, for sure. And because my ego wouldn't allow me to be the mug without the drug or the mug without the bits and pieces, I continued to risk my liberty to uphold that pretentious sort of position within prison without considering the damage it was causing my kids. So just bear in mind that when you go to prison, you're going to have to sell drugs to be the man. You're going to have to hurt people to be the man. You're going to have to risk your liberty, and you're going to have to jeopardise your freedom every single day so you can be the man in prison. So going to prison and being the man in prison is going to keep you in prison. And when you get out, you've got no opportunities to stop going back to prison, because you don't learn nothing. So you get out and you just go back to the same stuff that you used to do. And this is why criminality is insanity. Because criminals repeat the same act over and over again, expecting a different result, which is Einstein's definition of insanity.
Criminality is insanity, though.
No, it is, though. It is. But we're programmed and groomed from our environments to believe that criminality is for the sensible kids. Yeah. So, like I said, and I've said it a few times, right? Most criminals risk their liberty every single day of their life, right? So, think of it like this. You risk your liberty every single day of your life. For a price you can't put your finger on. You're prepared to stab, shoot and kill and go to prison for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But then look in the mirror and call yourself sensible. Sensible. Does that make you sensible? So ask yourself a simple question. Does risking your liberty every single day of your life, for a price you can't put your finger on, prepared to stab, shoot or kill or
but
go
why
to
do they
prison
do that?
for 5 years.
But why do they do it?
Does that make you sensible?
Anyway, why
no,
do they
it's
do
all
it?
grooming.
Yeah.
It's all grooming, and look, we're made to feel important. You get that? Ah, you're the man.
Yeah.
You're the man, Ray. Ray, you're the man. Ray, you're special. Ray, you're special.
Yeah,
you're the
for
man.
sure.
Well, you're powerful,
For
Ray.
sure, for
You're
sure.
gonna pay. Come and help us, Ray. I only need you, Ray. Ray, I only need Ray. Do you understand? Because that's all that happened to me. I got groomed into believing that I was someone so fantastically amazing, so hard, so special that I'd do anything for anyone.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know what I mean? But I didn't realise I was getting used so they could benefit from my actions. And it wasn't until I got shot and sort of recovered that I realised that I've been used my whole entire life, and no one in the criminal fraternity that I had it with on a certain
How many years?
level,
How many
loved me.
years did you do to learn that?
Well, it took me 40 years to learn that.
Exactly.
40 years, and I think I'd say with all the remands and all the investigations and all the nickings, because people don't realise, right? I've done 4 sentences, right, but I've been arrested and incarcerated on remand like maybe 7 times.
Yes,
sometimes
you've done 12 years actually served. That's not included remand time.
Not in time remand times, or the time you spend in the police station for a week.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Mate.
you get
How many times that happened?
Yeah, but look,
Fucking
you get nicked, right? You get nicked on a serious crime.
Yeah.
First time you get nicked on a serious crime, it's called incommunicado. Yeah. So they put you in an incommunicado, which is you're in a police station and you're not allowed a phone call, you're not allowed a solicitor's visit, you're not allowed nothing.
So you can't tell your family?
You can't tell no one. Incommunicado means you're not allowed to communicate with the outside world of the police station. They keep you there for 3 days doing their investigation. And then they might extend it. They will go to the judge and ask for an extension. And then the judge will take you to court and they'll put you inside for a few months. And then they'll release you. And then you don't class that as a bit of bird. But that's 3 to 6 months. Sometimes I've done 18 months. A year. 18 months on remand. Do you understand? And then released. But you don't class that as a bird. Yeah. But when you think about it, that's like 18 months, right, is like a 4.5 year sentence and getting parole. Yeah. Do you understand? Like, it's like a 3 year sentence and getting out on half. Do you understand? So 18 months is a fucking sentence. And I've done 7 months on remand, 12 months on remand. My last case in 2015, I've done 13 months on remand. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? All right, I got an out. Yeah. But that's another a year, and then 18 months for the shooting, and then 3 months for another investigation, 6 months for another investigation. That's another couple of years there. Do you know what I'm saying? So on top of my 12, there's been other investigations where I've been incarcerated on remand. But you don't book it as a bird because you get out and you're happy. Do you know what I mean? So the consequences of prison is just
fucking
all
weird,
shit.
Isn't it?
It's all shit.
Fucking crazy.
It's all shit. But we're made to feel good about it because we're made to feel important once we get released. And the bigger the crime, the bigger the attention. Do you know what I mean?
The bigger you think you are. The bigger you think you are.
Like we said, the bigger the package as well.
The bigger you think you are.
The bigger the man on the wing, and the more time you're going to get in the jail, and then like, the more people are going to want to attack you, the more people you're going to have to attack. This is why you're in jail.
Watch this, right? So the biggest parcel, right, and I've got to say it, man, this is what people don't realise, right? So I used to have a brief, and the brief used to come to the court, right? So one day in the brief, I used to get, when I went to court, I got a bar of puff, an ounce of bran, an ounce of white, 50 pills, like maybe 100 pills, 50 E's, 50, 25 Valium and other pills you take, right? So all these things up my arse, right? And I'm telling you, you go back to the cell and when you get it out...
Why do you think Fish used to talk to... Fish got to know Marvin.
It's blood. You shit blood.
Yeah.
You shit blood. You rip your insides out. Do you know what I mean? Just so you can have all your bits and pieces. And this isn't once in a blue moon. This is a regular occurrence that I was going through every month. I'd get a bar. I'd go to court and I'd get my bar, my hands and my pills. Yep. But every week or every 2 weeks in prison, my brief was coming to the prison. But because the puff we used to sell for £200 an ounce, that went really quick. And then the gear used to go over periods of time. So you need that carousel of products coming into the prison. Now, every time that's coming into the prison, you're jeopardising another 3 to 5 to 7 years in prison.
More, mate.
Do you understand? And you don't realise it.
And your personal health as well.
Everything. Your mental state. Your kids are missing out on you. Do you know what I mean? And you just don't think about it because you're made to feel important by all the people that have not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the sad thing about prison. You're either a have or a have not. And either one you are is devastation because if you're a have not, then you want to take the drugs. So you roll up debts, which causes problems because you can't pay for them. Do you know what I mean? Then you're getting in trouble for not paying for the drugs or the food or the bits and pieces you take on double bubble. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got to fight with the screws to protect your gear. And then you've got to protect yourself from the people on the wing that want to rob you. So unless you're a real naughty member, you're getting robbed in prison. Now, I know people that have had spoons put up their bum. A spoon put up your bum to get your parcel out. That's what you're going to head towards when you're going to prison if you want to be that guy. And if you don't want to be that guy, then you need to be able to serve people up so you don't get the spoon up your bum, and serving them up will get you more bird. And it is that simple. So it's a lose, 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 lose. And there's no point to it. There's no point to it whatsoever, and that's why I'm so adamant now on changing the narrative for the youngsters, because since I've been straight in 5 years, I've generated more money legitimately in 5 years than I made on the road.
Exactly.
Now, I'm not saying that I never handled millions on the road.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying to you? But
over
long periods of time, like you go out, you have a bit of work, you nick 20 grand, right? You have a little bust up with your mates, right? A couple of days later or a week later, that money's gone. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you've got to pay your part. You need your car, you need your watch, you need your clothes. So your car, your watch and your clothes, 15, 20 grand back in the day. Then you need more money to live.
And it's funny, when you work, you respect that money. You're working, you respect it.
It's accountability in it. It's compartmentalisation. So if you're working hard every day, you're not going to spunk it. But if you get 5 grand today, you're not going to tell yourself, I don't know what, I'm not going to spend no money, I'm going to save it. Because you've got to play your part. Even the people that are getting laid on the gear, they're playing their part. They're not making no money. They're not really making money. They're spending someone else's money, which causes problems. So everything to do with the criminal fraternity is a problem-causing situation where we will devastate your life, your wife's life, your mum's life, and your kid's life. And that's how simple it is.
Pure devastation.
It is. That's all it is.
Pure devastation.
And it doesn't make you a sensible member. It doesn't make you a bad man going to prison. You know, like
it's the opposite, isn't it?
I never realised, right, until the last 5, 6 years that prison is for mugs.
Right, mate.
Yeah.
It's 100%. A mugs game.
Do you know what I can remember? I can remember sitting in the cell, sitting in the cell in a block, nothing. You got nothing in there at all. Sitting in the corner, thinking to yourself, "Fucking hell, mate."
Cardboard furniture.
This is the first day, or it could be the 20th day of fucking 6 months. The day is like a fucking.
Was it 1074 to lay down?
1074, yeah. This is like
GOAD, then 1074, and you're gone.
Yeah, you're gone.
And you don't know where you're going. Sometimes you don't even know what prison you're in.
Yeah.
They don't tell you what prison you're in. You're just in the block, and you're not allowed that. And when they want to be dogs, they won't even give you exercise. So it's 24-hour bang up. Do you know what I mean? And then what they do, they let you out sometimes to come on the landing and pick a book off the trolley. And that's your exercise.
It's horrible.
Do you know what I mean?
Worst. I only did 7 days.
One shower a week.
I never had one shower in fucking 6 months, mate.
That's because you was naughty.
I was saying something before, a bad one, mate. Bad one.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's the fact that you're sitting in there crying, man. You're crying inwardly,
Yeah.
But you're looking at your soul and you're going, "Fucking hell, I've got this for fucking maybe years. What the fuck for? What have I got out of it?
That's the most important thing.
What have I got out of it? I've lost my mum. I've lost all my family. I've lost everybody.
So everyone can say, "You're the man.
You're the chap.
You're sensible.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you."
And when you get out, everybody stays well away from you, or no one fucking knows you.
And like I said, I've had friends.
Or
you don't even want to go and visit
Let me finish. Or they don't want to know you. Yeah. Or they want to get you on board. So what the olders lot say, "Oh, you need to get them on board." I'll give you an example. Right, I stuck it on someone in 2000. Right, I put on a real major villain over his son. Son was talking out of school. I put it on him and said, "Look, your son's talking out of school. It's a fucking liberty. If it weren't for my pals, I would have served him up. And I'm telling you now because you're his dad. And what you need to do is get him to wind his neck in. Yeah, because it's a fucking liberty. People are going to get arrested. People are going to get nicked down your son. If that happens, then he's going. Right? It's as simple as that. So wind his fucking neck in or you're going to have a problem." After that day, that same man went to other people in my group and said, right, "Listen, you see that Marvin? He's a fucking blinder. Give him whatever he wants."
Nice.
Do you understand? And the only reason he's saying that is so he has me on board.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I'm his bitch.
Yeah,
do you understand? So they give you something, then you got to do work for them. And that's why I'm thinking I could never be bought by anybody. But the consequences of that life is devastation from start to finish.
It don't end, Marv.
And it doesn't end. And it will affect your kids. It will affect their kids. It will affect you. Everything, man. It's just not. It is just not worth it. So my advice to all the youngsters out there is do not believe the hype. Do not believe the hype, because you are going to prison. You are going to prison, and you are going to have to defend yourself against people of my calibre, Ray's calibre, and further up the ladder and further down the ladder. And you have to run through a minefield every single day to keep your sanity
alive,
to keep your bits in your cell. Like, come on, man. Like, you got people in there
that are running around these soul nicking things.
Yeah,
that's what they do. All day, 24/7.
It's filth. It's filth. Do you know what I mean? It's filth. So why would you want that?
Yep. So I think today's been real powerful. We've done nearly 3 hours. So I think we'll close it off now, and then we've got a few topics saved for next time. So
okay.
a little bit next time. And so, like, guys, please just take in everything these guys are saying about the consequences of the life of crime, and do the right thing and look after your family. Do the right thing. Nothing but the truth, they say. Nothing but the truth, they say. So nothing but the truth is this. Yeah, you're only a mug in someone's cunt if you're going to prison, and you're only a cunt if you're going to prison for someone else. Always ask yourself this question: why don't you do it? If someone's asking you to do something where you can be harmed, incarcerated, or killed, ask that person why they are not doing it. Why are they asking you to do it? Why can't they pay somebody else that they do not love? They do not love, to risk their liberty. Why are they asking someone they love to risk their liberty, their freedom, and their life for them, if they love them? Just ask yourself them simple questions, nothing but the truth. Yeah. And you'll find the real reason, you know, because there's no love on the road. There's no love on the road, okay? People only love the anticipation of the money they're going to earn from you or your actions, or the elevation that your actions is going to create for their empire. And it's crazy. So you work for other people, doing other people's dirty work like I did growing up, then you're a mug.
Mate, we all did.
I was a mug. I was a 10-ton mug, right? And I was proud of being that 10-ton mug until I was 40. Don't be me. Don't be me. Just don't be me. 40 years. Yeah, I've been stabbed 23 times. I've been chopped with axes. I've been shot 5 times. I've done bird in prison. My older kids don't want to know me. Why? Because I wanted to be that guy on the road. Nothing but the truth. Do not be that guy. It's not worth it. And if you've got a job and a decent trade or a decent business, you'll have £1 million house after a few years of working.
You're not fucking sure what he's saying there. It's so truthful, you know. It's so true.
Well, every person I know from school,
all my brothers and sisters have got houses.
Every person I know from school that's got to work,
got mad,
live in £1 million houses,
and for fucking
and their kids go to private schools. Do you know what I mean? And they're having holidays every time.
Yeah, mate.
They're driving the biggest cars. They've got the nicest watches. Do you know what I mean? They look like villains. They act like villains, but they work. Yeah. I mean, you don't need to be a villain. A villain is a mug's life. Trust me. That's nothing but the truth. That's what I like. So, like I said, obviously, we know you always come enough truth. We really appreciate your honesty
for sure,
as well.
For
sure.
So
many people are out there, even after doing so much, they can't accept it, the mistakes they've made. So because they can't look in the mirror. Because they can't look in the mirror and accept that they're a cunt. Yep, 100%. They're a mug, and they failed. Yep. They failed. If you've made a life out of crime, devastation, and misery, then that's failing in life. You're supposed to be happy, elevating, and sort of expressional. You're supposed to be comforting, sort of protective. And like when you go to prison, who can you protect in prison? Where's your family when you're in prison?
Do you know what, Marv? Do you know what? It's the truth, mate. What you're saying. Do you know what? I fell in love. I fell in love with someone. She's 25. 25. I fell in love with her, but it can't be. You know what I mean? I'm fucking 70 years of age. You know what I mean? And I know that once she's 35, I'll be fucking an old man with a Zimmer fame. Yeah. Come on, what life? But then you realise, fucking hell, I've lost all this, mate. Yeah, it could have been. I've lost all this. I could have been with someone that age, you know what I'm saying? I've lost all that.
You're clutching at your youth.
Of course you are.
And you want it back.
You've got to.
Want to start again. You never lived those years.
You've got to.
You haven't lived them years.
Taking fucking all sorts of things, Viagra's, to try and make yourself young, and it ain't working. And it ain't even working you off, for fuck's sake.
And that's what you've got to look forward to. So if you want to be a villain, just know that you're going to spend plenty of years in prison, and by the time you get out of prison, you might even be able to get an hard on.
You can't.
Imagine that. Imagine you're a bad man, You're a bad man. Come on, Rod, you can't even get an hard on because you're old and grey.
On the Zimmer. On the Zimmer. Oh, fucking true, mate.
Listen, I've got some friends in prison right now, right? I've got friends doing 30 years. I've got friends doing recommended 20 years. I've got friends doing 2 life sentences. And I've got people that I know, people that I've associated with that are never coming out of prison. They're never coming out of prison. Why? Because they were bad men.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? So this is why I understand now why it takes more of a man to walk away from a fight.
Yeah.
Right? Because only the mugs end up in prison. I'm not saying everyone in prison is a mug, because I was a mug. I'm using the term loosely, but when you're in that mindset, yeah, you got to really think of the logical perspective of your life and ask yourself, is it sensible? Yeah. And when you look at it from a realistic, honest perspective, you know it's not sensible. Like, I actually feel, right, I have it now with people that are worth hundreds of millions of pounds, and they're the same age as me. So when I go around them, I absolutely feel about this big.
For sure.
For this big, and they're not bad men, they're not aggressive, they're not violent.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? They've just worked. But they live in £15 million houses,
sure.
£25 million houses, £4 million houses. They live on £2-3 million a year. They've got companies coming out of their arseholes. They've got their jets, they've got their helicopters, they're travelling, their kids are fucking set for life. And for what? For working hard and being there and supporting their family. Look at the biggest villain on the planet, and what have they got? Right? The biggest villain on the planet cannot have the life that he dreams about. And I know that, right? Because I know some of the biggest villains on the planet, and they're not sort of excited with their life and how they live in it, because it's so stressful. And the further you go up the chain, the more headache and stress you have, and the more times or the more opportunities you have to go to prison. So the higher you go, the more prison you're going to get, and the more loss you're going to have. The bigger the confiscations, everything.
How many people do you think they go to prison that learn a lesson the first
2%.
time? The first time.
1%.
Exactly.
I know a few people. Yeah. I'll give you an example. Timothy Knievy, right? He was a tearaway like you can never imagine. One of the hardest people I knew growing up as a kid. He was my partner from when I was about 14, 15 years of age. And we done everything you could ever imagine doing as kids, right, to make money. And we was making thousands as kids, burgling, robbing, stealing. And then we started robbing. Then we got nicked. And when we went away, this is what Tim said to me, right? We're walking along the lane in scrubs. And he went to me, he said, you know what, Marv, this ain't for me, you know.
No, ain't for me.
And I said, what do you mean? He said, mate, do you know what, look, he's 40 odd years of age, mate. And I think he's an absolute cunt. I said, what are you talking about? He's nicked for this, he's nicked for that, he's fucking sensible. He said, Marv, mate, there's no way in a million years I want to be walking these landings when I'm 40, mate. So I'm going to let you know now, I'm out of this. And when I get out, I'm getting a job, mate.
Do you know what?
And me and him, the mindset I had, me and Tim fell out over that because I couldn't understand why he'd want to give up. But now his life that he's led for the last 25 years, it's amazing. But he's got houses like you couldn't imagine.
You're building every day.
Yeah.
Every day you're building and building and building. It's getting more every day. It's not
can I finish?
Taken away from you. Yes.
Can I finish?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So he's got everything he needs. He's grown up with his kids. He's been there every day, every week, every month, every year for his kids and his grandkids. Right? And he's gone through life, navigated his way through. He's made some mistakes. He's hit some hurdles, but he's never been back to prison. So he's been able to deal with everything and keep his family on point and provide. We go to prison, we can't keep our family on point and we can't provide. And then we start moaning about our kids being whatever they turn out to be when it's our fault. So remember, the effects that you give your children is devastating to their futures and their development. For what? So you can be the man on the street that everyone looks at and says you're respected and you're the man. For what? Show me a man, show me his kids. Show me a man, show me his home. Okay? And then I'll tell you who the man is. Yeah? If you're a man and you haven't got a house that's comfortable for your children, then what kind of a man are you? Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, that's what it's all about. We live to sort of perpetuate our species. We want our children to do better than us. How can our children do better than us if you're in and out of prison your whole life? What are they learning? Nothing. That's why criminals that mimic other criminals, their kids mimic them, and then they 100%. Try and reprimand their kids for being naughty.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Even my daughters now, they're middle class, right? My daughters are my two youngest daughters are middle class now, we talk really posh. So when they're being naughty, what they say to me is, well, what did you do? What was you doing at my age, Dad? And I'm like, it ain't about what I was doing. I'll get crazy with them because they don't understand that their behaviour is similar to the behaviour I used to dispel at their age. So they don't understand the consequences.
Yeah.
But the fact that I'm here to nurture them, mould them, and sort of protect them is beneficial. If I went to prison now, my daughters would end up in a bad place by the time they're 20.
How many times have you been out, met people that you've known have been doing a little bit of villainy, yeah, and stopped, and now you see them, they're fucking Keiko.
Well, look, we're going to be doing a good friend of mine, Tony McMahon.
Okay.
Right, we grew up, we was all little scallywags, tearaways, but now he's been an actor, he's been in movies, he's a driver to the stars, he earns a decent money, he lives in a beautiful...
Do you know Paul Moriarty?
Yeah, I know the Moriartys.
No, but he's an actor, Paul Moriarty, do you know him?
On the name
In
Moriarty...
Razors, he was Razors in Long Good Friday. Do you ever see it?
No, but
The name rings a bell, Moriarty.
Yeah.
I don't know why it rings a bell, but it does ring a bell.
No, I was just talking about a friend of mine now. I was talking about him early on, Martin Weller. I used to meet him in the clubs, yeah? He used to sell little tickets, you know, and something happened, and some people went around and got nicked. He went, fuck that. That's me, finished. I ain't doing no more of that, yeah? They all got fucking big birds, 5 years, 10 years, yeah? For the coke, yeah? He went, fuck that, I ain't doing that. I come out and someone said to me, oh, it's this guy that owes someone some money for some other things, cars and this and the other. Do you want to go and collect it? So I said, yeah. Anyway, we went round this guy's place and it was him. Yeah. Bit bald head, he had so long hair and everything, and it was him, but I never recognised him, you know. I put him in the back of the car, I said, look, you've got to pay the money, you owe 10 grand. It's only 10 grand. Pay it, mate. Fuck all, you know what I mean? He went, okay, I'll start paying it, yeah. But then all of a sudden, I met him 2 days later, give me some money. He went, I know you, don't I? I said, don't think so, mate. He said, you're way ill, ain't you? I said, yeah, I am, is that? Yeah, I'm way ill. He said, don't you know who I am? He said, I don't remember Martin Weller in his clubs for Sunday. I went, fuck off. And now, he's a multi-millionaire. He owns a big, massive gym. Massive, fucking 3 stories high, on the biggest gym I've ever seen in my life. He does all cars, does all put the plastics over the cars.
And the wraps.
And the wraps and all that, and spraying them. And he's a multi-millionaire, mate.
Yeah. All my mates have gone to school all gone to work from school, all live in palaces. Every single one of them. So, I mean, it makes you look, you think, wow, look at this. So hard work does pay off.
Yeah, but that was over seeing someone get nicked. Yeah. He was selling tickets, yeah? Earning good money selling tickets, then see someone get nicked. I went, fuck that.
I wish I'd have learned from the first day I went to prison, but
Me too.
I was addicted to that gratification and that ego, pat on the back.
I love power, mate. That's what it was with me. I love the power. I love the power, yeah? When I see people with power, I wanted it, yeah?
I wanted it. That's what I wanted
it, man.
But we can get powerful being straight. Imagine this, right? Now, you think you're getting powerful, right? By going to prison, nicking money, having murders, shooting people, stabbing people, and then running around retaliating, right? But think of it like this. If you had £100 million, right, and you had protection at your house, yeah, and you had panic buttons at your house and someone tried to rob you, yeah, you've got the biggest firm in the world to protect you.
Real power.
No, that's power. That's power.
Yeah.
And if you got into the billion status, then you've got the military that will look after you.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
Just go up the ladders, mate, and you get protected.
Yeah, but this is
people will say, oh, look, he's talking like fucking.
Yeah, but this is what we was just talking about a minute ago, Martin.
The truth is this, right? If you've got legal money, who's going to protect that legal money? The system.
Of course.
So that's the best system to be in. It's not grass. I'm legit. Do you know what I'm saying, Joe? Like, why do you want to come and rob me? Well, you're grafting. Take the chance. I took the chance when I was a kid, and I took the consequences when it come. So, my advice to everybody is get the powerfulest firm on the planet to support you by becoming the most successful person you can, physically, financially, and spiritually. And you're laughing.
Yeah, for sure.
You're laughing. You've got no headaches. And my mate's got it. Do you know what I mean? And I see it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've got their own jets, mate. And they get armed people on holidays with them, protecting them, like,
yes, mate. Yes,
legally.
Mate. Yes,
do you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's where you want to be.
Yes, mate.
Do you know what I mean? Come on, man. Come on.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? Like, no one wants to go to prison. No one wants to get shot. No
do you know
one
what,
wants to get
I had a job, yeah, looking after King Fahd. Do you know King Fahd?
No, I don't.
From the Arab Emirates, yeah?
Right.
I had a job looking after him, right? And I looked after him for, 6 months? And I was getting good money. I was only getting 800 quid per week, yeah? But a retainer. Yeah. A retainer is you get it all the time.
Yeah, you get it through.
You're only with them 6 months a year, yeah? The Arabs, yeah? Yeah. I got a sack over playing pennies up the wall, yeah? With these Arabs. When the shakers come in the afternoon, I used to play pennies up the wall to nick their watches.
Yeah.
It was still in me to nick their watches, yeah? to take the boxes. You know what I mean? But getting a regular wage.
Yeah, see, so for them watchers, you fucked up.
That
Right now, watching. Imagine this, right? Imagine that the king was it Fahad?
for King Fahad, yeah.
King Fahad, right? Imagine that if he'd have not done up the wall and King Fahad loved him like a son. How much benefit would he have had from that relationship?
You wouldn't have to worry about what.
Do you know what, man? What you just said there was true because in the Arab thing, yeah, you get these young shakers, the young birds, young girls, yeah. They go to all these fucking amusement arcades and fucking foot parks and all that, yeah. They take security guards with them who are gunned up,
Yeah.
right? They got to be gunned up to take them,
I
yeah.
know that.
And when they're born, they go to the nearest village and they adopt 20 kids the same age. So they all grow up as a fucking unit, as a family. There's no outsiders. It's just that, yeah? And I remember the two fucking minders, yeah? They bought them fucking proper watches, proper cars, and give them money on holidays and all that. Is these young shakers who are fucking 10s, 11 years of age, mate. And that's the fucking job I fucked up. Fucking hell, mate, come on.
You must kick yourself all the opportunities you
playing
fucked up.
pennies
over
up the
years.
fucking wall.
But I ain't the only opportunity you fucked up.
No, I fucked up loads of opportunities in my life,
just
yeah?
from being a criminal.
Being a criminal.
Just from being a criminal,
Yeah.
fuck it all.
You got a woman who comes out, a housemaid, yeah? Come out to me, the housemaid, she said, Mr. Hill, I'm very, very sorry, but we don't longer need you working here. I said, what have I done? She said, you've been playing pennies with the shakers up the wall and taking their watches. I said, do you know what? I nearly cried, Marv.
I'd imagine.
I nearly cried because it was such a good job. Do you know what I mean? It was such a good job. And the way it was going, I knew that they would take you away with them.
Yeah, everything.
And you'd be looking after them.
Part of the family, mate.
Yeah. I remember a shaker, I remember the
over.
Queen, yeah? The Queen walking around the exit. My job there was two big Dobermans to look after these fucking heroes, ported heroes, yeah? And my job was walking around a big grass compound with them, yeah? And the Queen, what she used to do, she used to walk round, yeah? Walk fast. But all the African maids, she had all the maids, or servants, they used to run. They had to run behind her. They couldn't pass her, they had to run, yeah? Because she's the Queen. You can't pass her. If you pass her, you're fucking in trouble, yeah? And I remember these shakers, yeah, playing on the grass. Kids, 12, 13, getting married to men. Big men, right? 12, 13, mate. Young shakers. And I remember the particular day, a young shaker was on the grass playing like a kid. Yeah, but she's a queen. She's going to be a queen soon, yeah? And she lost a necklace on the fucking grass. 700 odd grand necklace that they're walking around with, you know what I mean? And she lost it. And the security, me with the dogs, the other kids, are all looking for this necklace. One of the security guys, he found it, yeah, and give it in. What a fucking idiot.
No, but he wasn't. So to you, he was an idiot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
He was an idiot, but to him, he's been elevated in that position.
If I'd have done that myself, I could never got the sack.
No, that's what I'm saying, Charles. But because of our ego and our greed, we fuck everything up. So my advice to everybody is just get a straight business and work hard, and you will achieve everything you want to achieve. And be careful what you wish for. Because if you wish like being a criminal, then you
wind up like me, innit?
Dodgy ride.
Life of pain.
Life of suffering.
And for the one, your loved one's going to be in the life of pain as
If
well.
you make it to the top, then you've got a whole heap of headache to take care of.
Well, you've got fucking people looking for you, mate. That's what you've got people looking for, haven't you? Hey?
So right, I think today's been fantastic. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on today? Like I said, we'll get back in next time.
Loads of things, but we can talk about them
We've done
later.
3 hours, so
yeah.
we don't want to do it too long, just so then people get in. So Ray, have you got anywhere that people can reach out to you on Facebook or anything like this?
No, you know.
Facebook, Insta,
no, nothing.
We'll get all that
Nothing.
set
I'm
up
not
for
into that.
So
Yeah.
once these start getting released, we need someone
Okay,
people can reach out to.
smashing.
So there will be a Facebook, there will be an Insta for Ray.
Yeah, for sure.
And all right, well,
Nice.
We'll be developing some programs moving forward to rehabilitate youngsters and keep them away from crime.
Thank God, that'd be good.
Come on, that's what we do, man.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good for kids. That'd be good.
No, it's not that.
I'd love that.
It's we can show the age.
Yeah.
So look, I know people 50, 60, 70, even 80 years of age that are still risking their liberty.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go in prison at 80, mate, or 70.
Oh, you're finished.
You're finished. It's all over. Heart attack, mate. Dead.
It's all over.
Hey? But how many people do it, though, Marvin?
They all do it, man. They can't stop.
Hey?
They can't stop. And that's the thing. Once you're in it, you can't get out of it. because you're trapped. That's why they call it trapping.
So guys, I'm sure you've loved this again with Ray. This has been Nothing But The Truth with Ray Hills. Ray, thank you very much.
And Marvin.
Perfect.
Thanks, Macca. Thanks, Marvin.
My
Thanks,
pleasure,
mate.